Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are featuring this lovely Damasco. Now this is, I believe, their entry level watch. This is the DS30. Now the DS section, as I've reviewed a DK before, what the DS signifies is it uses a like a standard movement. So this movement in here isn't produced by themselves, and that does keep the cost down quite considerably when compared to using their own movement, which is I think it's the A26 movement. That can increase the price considerably. So this one, you're getting a brought in movement, which to be fair, I've got no problem with at all. But before I get too far into this review, I've got to say a massive thank you to the team over at First Class Watches. They have gone above and beyond for the channel. They've been really good to me. Strongly recommend popping into their shop if you're in the Midlands area. If you're a bit further afield, well, I'll leave a link to their website in the description below and at the bottom of the page. All I ask is that you do mention the channel if you contact them. So anyway, let's talk sizes. This is a 39mm case size. The thickness is only, I think it was reading 10mm. And the lug to lug is a very respectable 47.5. The strap size on this is 20mm. Now the dial. The dial just looks great. It has this kind of matte finish to it, almost like a satin finish, dare I say. And it has these really nice kind of applied minute and hour markers here, and it's really quite nice crosshairs there. You're featuring the D and the Damasco writing up the top here, which keeps everything symmetric. It does have a date window over at the 3 o'clock. To be fair, yeah, it looks pretty good because they've kept the black background to it. They could have possibly put it down here to keep it completely symmetrical. That would look maybe cool as well. But either way, it does look really nice. You've got the big sword style hands going on here and the lovely big tip to the actual seconds there. The big white hand all covered there. It looks really quite nice. Now, as for loom, it is loomed up. It's not the strongest lasting loom, it has to be said, but it does look good anyway. So overall, I think it does look a nice watch. It's just got that real nice, clear and concise. But what I would prefer personally, there are other models available with different coloured second hands. Now, the colours available, I think, look fantastic. Normally, I like the white second hand, like if I was going to buy a 556, even though they're red, but the colour variations Damasco use look far better. They've got really vivid kind of coloured second hands, and that's what I would have to place on this one if I was going to buy one personally. So as we come past that, we do have a flat sapphire crystal. The crystal has got AR coating on both the inside and outside there. I think it looks really good because certain lights you just simply cannot read the crystal, and that's how it should be. The actual case of the watch, he says, get it to zoom in, has been bead blasted. That helps give it a certain kind of, it gives it like a kind of work hardened. It does make it a tiny bit harder bead blasting. Overall, I think bead blasting does look good. If it does scratch though, it is a bit of a pain. You have to try and get it re-bead blasted. But overall, I like the finish. It does have drilled lugs. Now, this makes it easier for strap changes, and personally, I like drilled lugs. On this kind of watch, it's a tall watch after all. I think drilled lugs makes things a lot easier because there are options available with this I'll talk about in a second. As we come around here, we have these very nice prominent crown guards going on. This protects your crown from sideward knocks. The crown itself is very kind of very brutal, really, kind of it's square edged, and the D going on there, I do quite like it because it's so easy to purchase. It does stick out quite some distance and it feels good for it. Now let's unscrew it, and you hear a nice audible pop. This has got 200 meters of water resistance to it. Let's put it back in. Goes in first time, that's always a good sign. Now on the back here, we have a solid case back on here. Now underneath there, as I mentioned earlier, is an ETA movement, and it's actually the ETA 2824, and that is an absolute solid movement. It's pretty flawless. I put it on the time grapher, and this time I was getting +5. Now, the reason I say this time is when I put it on the time grapher a couple of days ago, I hadn't wound it as much as I had before, and it was only getting +1, which is very, don't get me wrong, +5 puts it within chronometer specs in the position I had it. But +1 is even better, so really I probably should have let it run down a bit more before taking that time reading. But yeah, absolute solid, dependable movement. 38 hours of power reserve, 25 dual movement, spot on. Any watchmaker can work on that. It's absolutely superb. Now, the strap on this is a very nice looking leather strap, it has to be said. It does feel quite nice. You do have bead blasted and signed hardware on there. You have a fix and a floating keeper. I like the strap. It's got like almost a velvet kind of feel to the outside there, but I do think it would age very quickly. Now, there is actually a bracelet option for this, but it's a very expensive bracelet option because it's made in-house at their factory in Germany, and it's very nice. Doesn't offer, it's a butterfly style, so it doesn't offer micro adjustment apart from the links, but I think 640 something euros, which, if you want quality, you do have to pay for it. But when you consider the price of a watch, it's a lot of money to pay on the bracelet. This anyway would be a real strap on, so you could put whatever strap you want on this. I think it would look really, really good. But yeah, I think it looks superb. Let me put it on my wrist so you got an idea how it looks. Just zoom out here. I'm wearing my Zinn 144 anniversary Type 2, and Bob has got on the Larco keel there. Oh, it's such a good old, I just think it looks very old school, that one. It looks great. So as I say, 7¼ inch wrist I have, and approximately, I think that works out to about 18.5 centimeters, give or take. And that's it on my wrist. I think the watch looks gorgeous. It is a very, very nice looking watch. Would I be adding one to my collection? Possibly. Yeah, I think it will happen at some point. I'm pretty certain it will happen at some point. I will end up getting one. But I just think it's just a cracking watch. You put it on, you forget it's there. And that is the beauty of a good watch, when you just simply forget about it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you to it with that one. Any questions in the comments below. I'll always try and get back to you, but it's getting a bit harder these days. But most importantly, stay safe out there. Take care. Bye.